Ka Social Action for Human Rights SAFHR da ka jingiatrei lang bat ka Labour and Migrant Commission Archdiocese of Shillong ha ka jingpeit jingkhmih ka Social Service Center balai iarap da ka Mano Unidas Spain kala PYNLONG ya ka seminar ha ka Archbishiop tarik Naiwieng arhajar arpusau haduh shi tarik Nohprah arhajar arpusau ban pynkup bor ya ki Samla jong ka East Khasi Hills bat Ri-Bhoi District Halor ka phang, creating a Paralegal Volunteers through training on laws, welfare schemes and advocacy skills. Lapli ya ka seminar ha ka jingdonlang uba Ronnie V Lyngdoh MLA Mylliem Constituency, Chief Whip Opposition Meghalaya Assembly kumukongsan ha ka jingsenran lang Archbishiop Victor Lyngdoh DD rengkat Reverend Padar Richard Majau VG ka Archdiocese of Shillong. Ha ka ni ka seminar layamir jingmut Halor bon kimat kum ka Introduction to Law, Indian Judicial System and Paralegal Practices, Right to Information Laws, Free Legal Aid and Alternative Dispute Resolution System, Indian Justice System Delivery System, Criminal, but Local Governance System and Related Law. Lekran ru syapang ki Social Security and Welfare Schemes ki bangila aban yo naka Sorkar Kmie bat naka Sorkar Jylla, Public Distribution System and Related Laws, ka Child Right, ka Labour Law and Welfare from Labour Department, human right guaranteed by the Constitution of India and international instruments enforceable by Court of India. Hakasengi penkut ya ka seminar la ajing pensyairu Halor ka Community and Development bat ka MGNREGA arhajar san. Ka SAFHR ka ay ka jingkhublay ki nong wan ajing pensyai Halor kite ki phang. Kiba kuntup ya ka Sister Shobha KP CMFSS, Advocate Guwahati High Court Sir Abinash Nazari, Lawyer Program Manager ka SAFHR, Mr. Fasla Kupar Yabor, Advocate Mr. Peter Dokrut, Advocate Supreme Court Mr. Kanpham V. Kharlingdoh, Advocate Supreme Court Mrs. E. Kharchandi, District Social Welfare Officer East Khasi Hills, Mrs. Melinda Marbanyang, Nursing Supervisor Mauplang CHC, Miss Evangeline Lawai, Food, Civil Supplies and Consumer Affairs, Government of Meghalaya, Mrs. Daisy Thank You, Advocate for Child Rights, Mrs. Yasminda Lamin, Labour Inspector, Government of Meghalaya, Mr. Peter Pasa, Project Director, DRDA, East Khasi Hills. Lakan tu yaki nong shimpenta banya samlam yaki jing tip ba kilayo lum lang ba kini ki jing hikai syaki para nong shnong.
Research team. So one of the legislators from Garo Hills, wanted that research team to do a research why the pass percentage is very low in Garo Hills. I, of course, did tell them we are very fortunate that the Catholic Church has many social activities. For example, now if you see where the church has its presence, we develop one. Be it education, be it health, be it anything. But in Garo Hills, it was all dominated by another denomination, so maybe they only focus on spreading the word of God, the gospel, but they forgot to take into consideration other social work, for example, like health, education, so on and so forth. So I'm very happy that the church is starting this another activity, which is very, very important, because lack of ignorance leads to people being, exploited. People do not know the law, do not know their rights. I'm so happy, sister, that you started this along with Father Benson. And because as a legislator, sometimes we find people being exploited, people being denied their rights because they do not know their rights, they do not know how to fight for justice. So I'm very happy that you're starting this. It is very, very important because there's a lot of, movement of people from one state to another, from one country to another. So maybe when you go to another state, you go to another country, you're not aware of the laws there. So maybe this will help. For example, we have in Meghalaya, people coming from outside, migrant labor will have to apply for permit. And if they don't know how to go about it, then sometimes they have to go back and they're denied livelihood. So I believe this commission will aid in doing that. And so happy that I'm here because human rights is, it's a constitutional right, it's our right. So I think these are all human rights that we have to fight for. And I think you're very fortunate because I think all this training will be free, I believe, sister? Free. Now if you go to a law college, huge fees you have to pay. So you're very fortunate, take advantage of this. And yourself to be conversant with the laws of the land, especially with migration and labor laws, so that you can help people who really need your assistance. So you're very fortunate getting everything for free. Now in the world nothing is free. No free lunch, nothing. But you're getting this training for free. So you're very fortunate. So take full advantage of this, because if you are armed with proper knowledge, you can really help people. Because like they say, little knowledge is dangerous. Now for example, you have to go to a court of law and you're not well prepared, you're not conversant with the laws, then the judge will ridicule you or something like that. For example, some of our lawyers were ridiculed by some of those judges, who have very huge ego. Okay, but I think you've got this privilege, so make full use of it. Like Sister was saying, this will be a 1 year-long program, so for arming yourself with legal expertise, and of course render help to people. So that makes everyone happy. When you can help others, it helps you, makes you happy. And as a legislator, we've come across many situations where people have been exploited. For example, taxi drivers. Their documents are seized, so they come to me. I said, have you asked for a seizure list? Some of them said, what is that seizure list? I said, when a policeman, a law enforcing authority, seizes anything from you, you have to provide you a seizure list. For example, if your driving license has been seized, your documents, anything. What if the cop throws away those documents? How do you prove that he's taken it from you?
Mention urban area 50.87. The Kenyat Kumangal Orbi under NFSA kita ada di scheme nomor awalnya AAY and PHH. The AAY kini card barang stem. AAY kini card barang stem and PHH kini card barang pin. Okay, the AAY keada benefit bagi yo kilamba per household. Kiken with shiyang mo hindi baken marwin. Shiyang met yo lagusan kilo hakador lighting na. Kata kali as per the act. The PHH pada kemudian mentala kapidan sawo aye kemudian we brio unyo san kilo shikle hakador lighting ka shikilo mo. The kau yang pada mentala bagi hakad de bakalong ba nalu upna January jong newsnet aja absal haduh arajar apa pra December lagu itu kau unlebet zero kemudian February shop deban shim pisah lagi beneficiary nomor ba Sorkar kala pelabet for free mo jadi orang mentai riu free of cost kat shwai ni kita kipi MJQY bagi NFSA raise bagi kan nomor per lockdown nak mau try kita etip riba ni yo tu free of cost raise tu wahap kok PMJQY India ka pamenta pada ya kan ni kaya NFSA itself ni kilapan IBET free of cost for a period of 5 years ma. Okay. As per the act, woman kemudian manu kintai beliau ibadah yang bahaya idei head of the family. Syukurlah dari bangunan pada di bakat plus dan syurga, kemudian itsa shimna dari shimna beliau. Kata mereka, as per the act, the woman is a head of the family. Jadi jinsya terboni kiyeng kisah terkini kepala menjadi head of the family. Jadi as per the act, but then it is the woman who is the head of the family. Mom.
So this is about ministry. What is the ministry of labor all about? So we talked about to protect and safeguard the interests of the workers in general. Why? Because at the end of the day, we want to have higher production and productivity in the workforce. Because with that only we'll have an increase in development, an increase in productivity, not only in our own state but in the country as a whole. So how does the government plan to do such or to achieve such a task? So the government the government perspective is promotion of welfare and providing social security to the labor workers. That's the main thing, and the objective is how do we achieve this objective is through various labor laws. Okay? Various labor laws, that by implementing various labor laws. Next, so we will be going about E-Shram. So have you heard about this E-Shram?
We have attended one program little bit. And then within the Labour and Migrant Commission of Diocese, we have one sister from Schemes and Advocacy.
Working in the government, we have a database. How many people are working, so how will their salary be given, will be credited, everything. Suppose they're working in an organized sector, such a big company, they have the database. But when we are talking about unorganized worker, we do not have any database. We do not have any database. How many are drivers? How many are working as, for example, working in as at household? What do you call them as? Just washing clothes. Those also are there. Taxi drivers, many kind. Now we have the rapidos, we have so many drivers, but at the time, there was no database. We wanted from the government to help, but we don't have the database.
You know, by Ramakrishna mission, not through their funding, but the funding comes from the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Okay, they only facilitate the service. So all these are being provided through the Ramakrishna mission. All these financial assistance, like like setting up of schools, setting up of hostels, setting up of the hospital, setting up of mobile dispensaries. All that is available through the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Okay, please, when you go back to your community, or when you go back to your village, please spread the message so that more faith-based organization can avail the schemes from the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Next.